all this time, persons have been telling me I don't belong in Jamaica. I should be overseas. I should be making a lot of money. I tell them I belong here. I was born here for a reason. I was born in a city for a reason. And I'm here because there's a lot that God's going to use me to do to alleviate some of the problems, to redirect a lot of young men to the vision of a future. At about age 13, 14, I was left on my own, abandoned there in the inner city. I would say just to die, you know. I was left for dead there, and my father went overseas, and stepmother went overseas, and I was left with my brother alone to find a way through. I decided that I was going to make a difference. I was going to deliver myself from the circumstance, and the only way I could do that is through educating myself. So instead of choosing to join the companies in the inner city, I chose to study hard. Sometimes I had to pass my exams. I had to study under the street lamps because there was no current or there was no water. I was in this dark house, but I was determined that by my choices that I make, I could deliver myself from those circumstances. I was told from an early age that artists are poor people and they're going to die poor, and I should avoid doing a career like that. So that was my intention. I wanted to become a scientist, and I was pushing to do that. But something in me kept me training myself. I remember getting the page from the newspaper, the obituary section, and all the faces of the dead people, and I would be constantly trying to draw their face accurately. And I mean, everybody's sleeping, I'm there sketching the faces, and I have to get it. And then I put away the newspaper and I try to draw them from my head. When I walk on the road and see a person's face and go home and try drawing it, and that is how it went on, constantly pushing the limit, trying to get faster, trying to get more accurate. It was all because of the love for it, really.
Well, the reach is global. He can do everything from paint to sculptures to events and so on. He has done sets and backdrops for TV shows and so on. So I see first scope for expanding the company throughout the Caribbean, and also with the economic partnership agreement with Europe, there's a lot of scope for his work going there as well. In the Caribbean and Latin America, of course, there are hotels, there are businesses and so on that will want to have landscape features, waterfalls that he creates and so on, murals that he draws. He has a vision to create a theme park. I don't think that vision is limited to even just doing that in Jamaica. And his work isn't limited to just art. He has some way of figuring out engineering. So I can see him creating roller coasters. I can see him creating rides and attractions at theme parks around the Caribbean. The scope is endless.
When I went on leaving Teachers College, which is the Jamaica Teachers College, I started teaching, and I realized that persons were still asking me to do big stuff. And that is how I actually got into this field. The doors got opened, I entered, and my skills were utilized. And I realized that there is a great gap in the market for services like this. They said most of the stuff that props that they wanted, they had to source it from overseas. And here is somebody in Jamaica with the capacity to build any size structure. And here in my workshop, I've used my own funds, all that I have, in training of these young people. And I believe that we cannot perpetuate the cycle of giving handouts to the inner city. Yes, I'm a man can beg your thing, give him a thing. No, I give you a skill. It's a renewable resource. Once you have learned a skill, it will be money in your pocket.
Scheed Cole, he had let me realize my talent from third form. from when I was going to St. Mary's College. And I give thanks for that, because maybe I would have been doing something else that I might get drawn out of doing other things, and I give thanks for that.
If we have a facility in Jamaica where they can be trained, and I believe you cannot train persons in the inner city without giving them something in the period of time that they're being trained. They have to eat. Most of them are suffering. Most of them can't find their way through. They don't know how to feed in their youths. Most of them at age 17 already have a youth already. So I'm developing a program called the Work and Learn. You know, you work, you get paid, and you learn at the same time. You don't, you know, it's far-fetched. You have to wait 5 years, yes, I mean, before you can earn something. You learn at the same time, you work at the same time. So that's a vision that I have for this community and for Jamaica at large. It's giving my formula. Yes, I mean, the way I got out. Yes, I mean, I told myself I would get out of the inner city by choice. Okay? When you have no option is when in no way you can get out. You know? But when you have a skill, when you have an education, you have an option. You choose to stay if you want to. And that's what we want to, that's what I want to, you know, to tell the entire Jamaica. If there's one thing about my life is that is a theme is that you decide your future.